Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. This is going to be my video on Destination X 2014. This is one of those lucky shows that TNA is running with the gimmick of basically putting a pay-per-view. They're promising us that one of their television shows is going to stand out above the other ones. They packed these full of, a whole bunch of good shows. This gimmick to me, honestly, was put to test. I believe it was the Genesis show earlier this year, where basically they promised us 4 good matches. And I can't remember what they were, but I think one of them was a Sting match against EC3. Then they had a James Storm match that sounded like it was going to be really good. And then when it all came down to it, they ran out of time, and they only gave us 3 of the matches, and then continued Genesis next week. The whole, awesome thing about when they used to do the TNA dual tapings was that basically the live show that they put up the first week would be normally outstanding, and the second show never really had the same feel to it. So trying to make the Genesis show stretch over a 2-week period did not work for me. I felt like I was very upset. I think it's very cool that TNA was putting up these shows, basically for free. They were running the gimmick that basically Spike TV had picked up the bill of the pay-per-view, and that they were giving us something for free. This was a very good gimmick when this first started, like with the, I think they did the Destination X last year with Chris Sabin winning the championship. They did the Hardcore pay-per-view, basically with Bully Ray winning the title back from Chris Sabin. Those were jam-packed shows that were really, really good, but basically that Genesis show, really, how you could be getting something for free and walk away upset, it's got to be pretty bad. But just to promise us these matches and not give it to us. Destination X this year has a whole lot of eyes on it. Basically, everybody in the wrestling world is going to be watching this. I would not be surprised if Spike TV drilled up a huge number for this. Everybody was already having their eyes on these New York shows. I think it piqued a lot of people's interest in what was going in TNA. They were very smart. They held these TV tapings in New York. Where were these at? At the Hammerstein, I'm pretty sure. And basically, it was one of those venues that everybody has always wondered, why does TNA not go there? We've seen, Ring of Honor go there. They always draw a good crowd. It always comes off well when they tape their shows there. Could TNA go there and pull this off in a type of feeling in this show that the people there really care about wrestling. The only problem is with these venues, much like when ECW went up to New York and they filmed that one episode of ECW television with the Big Show and Batista. If you don't give them good wrestling, they are going to let you know that they did not get their money's worth. Basically, TNA stocked these shows with a whole bunch of talent that the people really cared about. A mix of new guys that are fresh to the scene, and a mix of the past. Bringing back Matt Hardy. There's some names that they've brought back, much with Stinsky and Ezekiel Jackson, that sort of makes you scratch your head. And the stories that are coming out is that they brought these people in for one-time appearances to make Dixie Carter's television personality, make her look like she's going crazy, like she doesn't know what is going on in the wrestling world, that basically she's trying to build an ECW reunion show, and she's bringing back people from the wrong ECW, bringing back people from WWECW. I don't know. It was weird to watch. I don't know what you guys felt about it. Honestly, in the last few months, especially like with lockdown, I see less and less TNA videos out there. As a whole, I've been saying that I've been seeing a lot less YWC videos. But honestly, when it comes to TNA, Mr. Corbeil is about the only guy pumping out TNA videos consistently about what's going down over there. If a hot topic pops up, you might get 1 or 2. But as far as people watching and reviewing the shows, it's probably at an all-time low right now. I think that, basically with these, when Spike TV I guess it wasn't really Spike TV, but when TNA went to New York, they knew that this was their last-ditch effort to try and really, really put something on the board. They filmed a big group of shows over 3 days, and then they're going to come back at the beginning of August, and they're gonna film there for 3 more days, and that's basically going to put us all the way in to Bound for Glory. I think that basically those first set of tapings came off really, really well, and hopefully the next set will too. Dixie Carter is still saying that basically they're still negotiating day in and day out with Spike TV, trying to find a deal. Some people are saying maybe she's negotiating, trying to sell the company to Spike, much like how Spike owns Bellator, and they can keep the show running. And TNA would never miss a beat. It would just be a television show that's 2 hours on Thursday, and it would be up to a Spike to put somebody in charge. I know that one part of the deal was that when they were trying to TNA was trying to sell, Mr. Carter was trying to save face for Dixie, and in order to buy the company, you still had to keep Dixie within the company, within some sort of a power, which didn't really make sense, and that's why a lot of people backed out. Well, I guess everybody backed out of the sale that was going down. But Destination X, damn good show. One match that I know a lot of people want to see: the Wolves versus the Hardys. You have one of the best tag teams of today. Easily could be two of the best single superstars in TNA. I know that a whole lot of people are waiting to see dream matches with Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards going up against Kurt Angle. If Kurt Angle is able to stay with the company once his injury heals up, those are going to be both good matches either way out. The Hardys, this is the first Hardy Boys match on, no, what am I talking about? They team up in Omega all the time. Well, I guess the first mainstream Hardys match since probably 2010, when Matt left TNA, or was asked to leave, I guess you can say, due to his problems that were going on with him, putting up the videos on YouTube, and everybody knows the story of the Hardys, except for that domestic violence issue that went down earlier this year at the hotel. I think that Matt is on the road to the right path. That was really a big bump in the road, one that you can't really not remember. But you got to tip your hat to Matt. He went to Ring of Honor, and I sort of thought he was just going there as sort of a cash grab, and he really has. He elevated Adam Cole to becoming the champion. He's one of the most hated people in the company, and then it's funny is when he's on TV doing the show, all you do is hear everybody boo him out of the world. But when we went to WrestleMania and he was doing the pre-show, meet and greet deal, Matt Hardy was easily one of the wrestlers getting the most attention from everybody, wanting pictures, wanting to get autographs. Probably one of the cheapest ways to get him is through those ROH deals, only $10 each, $20 a combo, whatever you want to talk about. But this is going to be a damn good match. I mean, honestly, when I heard this one went down, this is one of the ones I popped for. Like, man, TNA's got something. This is the match that desperately people are going to want to see. I haven't picked it up yet, but I know that Omega has done matches with the Hardys versus the Briscoes, the first place you'd ever be able to see it. And I haven't really looked that hard, but that definitely is a match that I would be, wanting to pick up a DVD for. I've heard that they did in Omega they did the Hardys versus the Young Bucks, and if they did do that, that's another match that I would really, really want to see. But definitely, this is a match where they're going to go out and they're going to give everything they have to do. Basically, Jeff Hardy gave all the TNA fans what they were asking for. Willow was a good character, but Willow is not Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is, one of the biggest names in the company. That is the guy they want to see. If Jeff Hardy wants to do the Willow character, more than likely he should do that, on his own time somewhere else. Maybe that's an Omega product. But, if people are paying TNA money to get into these TNA shows, we don't need to see the Masked Warrior. Basically, just do that on your own time. And here, just be Jeff, paint your face, come out, and be yourself, because that's one of the main reasons why everybody watches TNA. In this one, I'm really hoping that the Wolves pull this out. I want to see a good match from these guys. I know that it's kind of weird for TNA to bring back a reunion tour of the Hardys, and in that match you have them lose. But I just honestly don't want to see them as the TNA World Tag Team Champions. Maybe you could work some stuff where they keep doing matches, but the Wolves is a team that honestly needs to really get jump started. I mean, they had the good long series of matches with the what is their names? With Jesse and shoot, my mind just went blank on what was going down. But you guys know who I'm talking about. Jesse Goddard's and Robbie E., the bros, the man bros. The shit, I feel so dumb right now. If we weren't 10 minutes in, I would start over, and I apologize. But basically, they weren't the style of matches that we were really looking forward to the Wolves. We need them really just kicking the shit out of some people. They're not really comedy guys. And putting them one-on-one on Impact in a match that was about 3 minutes and having them, not punch each other, just wrestle. There's a time and a place for something like that, but it wasn't like that. And for Kenny King to run down and, get jobbed out to these guys, it just really didn't really make sense what was going down. But in this one, I'm hoping that the Wolves are able to pull that out. They're running a special tournament in order to crown the new X Division champion. That's going to be 3 different matches where these guys will move on to the finals if they're able to pull this out. We got Low-Key going up against DJZ and Manic. We have Sonata going up against Brian Cage and Crazy Steve at the Menagerie. Then in the third match, we have Samoa Joe going up against Homicide and TJ Uno. This, of course, is to crown the TNA X Division Championship because Austin Aries, for the second time in his career, is cashing in the X Division Championship, and he's going to be given a World Heavyweight title shot. For that, he's going to be going up against Bobby Lashley, and that's another good match. In the 3 matches, Low-Key, DJZ, and Manic, I'm going to take Low-Key. I think that he's a big name that they brought him back. I'm glad to see him wrestling. I heard that he had an injury that was nagging him that might have made it where he wasn't ever able to be able to wrestle again. He is an awesome talent, and you're very, very should be very, very grateful when you do get to see this guy wrestle. Then we have Sonata going up against Brian Cage and Crazy Steve. I'm going to take Sonata in that one. It's easy to see that TNA is really pushing him as one of the big stars that they brought over from the Japan promotion, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out on the end winning this whole deal. And then I'm going to take Samoa Joe to beat Homicide and Tigre Uno. Part of me really wants to pick Uno in that match, but I think I'm going to go with Samoa Joe because I think if they're really, really pushing these TNA tapings, really, really pushing TNA, trying to push it hard, Samoa Joe needs to be a star, and he hasn't been a star in a long time. Maybe winning this whole X Division deal would put him there. In the main event, I think that Bobby Lashley, honestly, has made a better champion for TNA than I thought he was going to. I thought that it was going to be a little bit of a joke putting him there. I've always had the joke since 2010. Was it 2010? 2009? Whenever it was when he came into TNA. He won the the number 1 contendership, and he never got a chance to do it because he left the company in order to follow his MMA plans. He's finally got brought back, and he's finally given the title right off the bat. There's a lot of talk about him being the champion and being on the shows as sort of being like a nod to Spike to sort of push him as a 2-sport star as he is in Bellator as well as he is in TNA, and making him the champion of TNA sort of adds to the stock of him in Bellator as well. But he's been better than I thought he was going to be. I thought that MVP was easily going to be the star of that group. Lashley looks good as a champion. He talks good as a champion. Austin Aries in the past has been a champion, and for him to step up and beat Bobby Roode's streak, honestly, was a little bit surprising to me. But he had his own little run as well before he ran into the aces and eights, and he was a very good, believable champion. But for here, I'm going to be sticking with Lashley. The looks of these 5 matches, and of course there's going to be more to fill out the 2-hour show. We got a good one. I mean, that New York crowd is always going to be bringing it in. I know a whole lot of people have been saying the last few weeks of Impact have been really good, but honestly, you need to set your DVR. You need to change the channel over to Spike TV. A lot of people are always putting up the videos like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is happening to TNA." But basically, if you don't put your actions behind your mouth and show this show, they're not going to be able to find a home. They need to have a huge, huge number on this show in order to go to television companies and say, you know what, people still do care about TNA. We have made mistakes in the past, but you need to keep us on the air because we can keep you viewers. Peace out, everybody. I hope you enjoy the show. Of course, this is Thursday. Spike TV, Destination X. I don't know. Doesn't get any better than this.